it cut out again? Okay, we might be safe. It's at 8 seconds now. We might be safe. Okay, good. Okay, so if you missed anything, I have my line art on one layer. I duplicated that into a different layer, and I made it thicker so that the lines weren't so thin that it wouldn't Procreate would not select it. Okay, so I am going to go around this and fill in little holes. You can see there's a little hole right here in this connecting line. So I just want to fill that in. Yes, hoping this is working. If it is, say hello to me if you want to. Okay, so that's pretty much what you do. Kind of go around, you fill it in, and that's the first step. See, there are lines missing here. You just need to quickly fill those in. Okay. So, yes, good. I think it's working too. Okay, so it's almost Christmas time, the festive season. And, you know, as a kid, I was always pretty naughty, actually. I would try to steal things. I really liked food, so I mainly stole food items. So I'm going to tell you of a few seasonal sins, I guess. It just sounds catchy, that I have done as a kid or, you know, in my life before. Okay, we're going to pause that story really quickly. So I think I've filled in all the lines. Just to check, we're clicking top right corner, the select tool, and we are going to automatic, which is also at the left, but it's at the bottom now. And you're going to select around this character and see her arm or any part of her body is not under here. So I'm going to select there as well. So you just go around here selecting all the holes, cracks, whatever. And that is looking decent. This is all pretty much in one layer. Then I will click invert, as you can see down here, until she is blue. I will click the paintbrush, and then I will add another layer. Take a color, it doesn't matter which color you choose. Drag that color into here. Take this off, take that off, put your thin line art, and there we go. Now it's all filled in, and that was super easy. We didn't need to trace over everything, and that was pretty quick. So I usually start with skin color. I think I will make her a pale, and I usually start with the lightest color. I also, give me a second, I like to make sure I have a fail-safe. Hello, is it working now? I don't know why it keeps on cutting out. I might need to do a live stream tomorrow instead if it keeps on doing this. Okay, so if you wanted to do this along with me while I'm showing you some tips, you don't need to, but, you know, it's kind of fun to learn. If you have any questions, you can ask me. I will probably be able to answer them. This is on Procreate, and other art apps might have these tools. I just don't know where they will be. You'll have to search up the tools. And you might do a little bit of digging. Okay, so I like to lower the opacity of my line art layer to make it smoother. As you can see, my art is usually smooth. That's kind of how I like to do things. It gives it like a lineless, but also not lineless look. Okay, so you take your brightest color, very pale or whatever you're doing. You can do almost any color. There are different types of shades that you use for blush. So if I had a darker skin tone character like this, I would not use this red that I will use for like a white character. I will use a dark, very saturated, maybe even darker than that, color like this, and then I can blend that all in like I would usually, and it always goes lighter, so I always do a very dark color. But I'm not doing that color skin character right now, so I am doing a pink. If you have any questions on what other skin tones you do, sorry, if you're doing a non-realistic skin tone like blue, I would suggest dark blue, really saturated dark blue or purple maybe, if you felt like having it kind of different shades. Okay, so I'm going to start with, I'm on this layer. I double tap that for alpha lock. And now I'm just adding some blush where her skin is. You start with the blush. I usually blush at the nose, cheeks, and you add shading later. And we'll show you how to do that. I'm actually just starting out a new style. As you can see, I'm trying to do a nose thing. I've done noses before. I changed my style into just a line instead of a nose. And I kind of want to try a more anime style, so don't necessarily go off the way I shade noses because I'm a noob to this certain style. Because shading, you know, it's also a style. Most people look at the way it's shaped, which is also a very large part of the style, but, you know, it comes in all shapes and sizes of style. You can have your own style coloring, you can have your own style of line thickness, thinness, you know, things like that. Details, whatever. Sorry about my voice. I slept really weirdly, but it kind of hurt my voice or something. I don't know what happened. Anyways, that happened. So I'm just going to blending. I actually using a custom brush for my blending. You can also use, if you go down here, use water. You can use one of these water brush brushes, whatever for you. You can almost use any brush you want for that. But I'm using this brush currently. Hello. Hello. Okay, the audio seems to be fixed now. Sorry about that. There's sometimes really weird audio glitches, and sometimes it'll cut out, which you have already seen today. So now I'm just blending it in. If you miss any of that, I'm using a custom brush. You can use one of the watercolor brushes if you would like, or you can use any brush you want. Okay, so now I'm doing the blushing right now. Sometimes I like to make my blush bigger for the elbows. Sometimes I don't even blush the elbows. It's really up to personal preference. So after blushing, I like to shade under the eyes like that, just for right now. And I think I'm going to try shading under the nose as well. And maybe in this little triangle shading. I might have to do that even darker or lighter. I don't know. It's a new style that I'm testing out. Okay, so now that we've done blush, I will select a color that is a bit lighter than what I've been using for a blended version. And, oh, sorry about that. I am going to lower the opacity of this or brighten up the color. And now I'm just adding the casual shading that anyone would do. So yes. Okay, now back to the seasonal stories that I was talking to you guys about. Just a quick little recap. I was a pretty naughty kid. I really liked food, so I would always, snatch some food up. So Christmas Day, I think what I would usually take was, I would sneak a peek at my presents most of the time. Hey! So yes, I would I would peek at my presents, I would shake them, everything like that, kind of guess what they were, maybe even rip open the box and peek inside. I was pretty naughty. And other seasonal stealings that I have had, Halloween, I would steal my siblings' candy, and I would share it with them after they were quote-unquote out of candy. I was really evil. Like, I would share candy that I had stolen from them to them, and then they would like me more. So, yeah. And Easter, I also have an Easter story. We were on vacation. I think we were in South Carolina or something. And, we had just had this Easter egg hunt, which we don't do often. And I had finished my Easter eggs immediately. After I finished my Easter eggs, I mooched off of my younger sister's Easter eggs. And after we had finished that, I was the mastermind of this whole plan, by the way. I made this plan so we would invite my oldest sister, who was a little clueless, I guess. She still needed to learn a few things, but yes, so I had made this mastermind plan that we would invite my older sister to a tea party, but my younger sister would be the only one hosting it. I would sneak into my older sister's room and I would steal the Easter eggs. And slowly, one by one, we invited her to these parties, and I had stolen almost every single one of her Easter eggs. Until it came down to the last 3, and I was like, oh, older sibling, you have 3 Easter eggs. Why don't you share with us? Like, how dumb was I? Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're pretty much done the skin shading, I guess. We've blushed it, we've kind of shaded it. If you want a more intense shading, you can go pretty dark. And I'm still learning my ways of shading, so don't necessarily take everything I say as the exact right way to shade. I would say it's almost the wrong way to shade, because I've been trying to get better at shading. But anyways, this is how I shade skin. I'm pretty much done. I usually add extra details like shine and gloss at the end of everything like this. Oh, and also, I usually use the same color of blush for her lips. And I shade them on the same layer as skin. Are you guys working along with me, or are you just watching, or are you gone? I can't really see how many people are watching this video right now, or even if I am streaming, because it glitches out sometimes. Okay, so her lips are done, pretty much. I usually add a bit more shading, but I don't really feel like I need to do that right now. Hello to any newcomers. This is just a how I shade skin tutorial. Oh, thank you. 6 people. That's pretty good. My goal for streaming, actually, is to get up to 20 people at the same time. Like, not in the long run. People visiting and leaving. Just 20 people watching my streams. And then maybe I can grow from there. But I'm going to set my goal low-ish. I've gotten 40, I think, in total. People visiting and leaving. But, yeah, that's pretty cool. Hopefully I will get there. Okay, so now, after the skin, I will add another layer. And I will click that. I will click clipping mask. Oh, thank you. You click clipping mask, and that will make it. So if I go bright red, you see this does not go out of the layer below it. If I turn off clipping mask, you can see where the brush really went. So you see I make a heart. I turn clipping mask back on. The heart is pretty much gone, except when it, is on that layer. Same layer as the other one. So I'm just going to delete that really quickly because that's easier than erasing everything. Okay, so now I'm pretty much going to go over everything and I will trace over where the hair is. See, I usually like to use bright colors because if I'm using a color that is similar to the skin color, if I use a color that is similar to the skin color, then I won't be able to see if my lines overlace very easily. See, in this dark part, I wouldn't be able to see my lines overlacing like that if I was rushing it. And to answer your question, Apple Emerald asks, how long have I been drawing for? Well, I guess I've kind of been drawing my whole life, but I did not actually start to enjoy drawing or draw like every day. I didn't draw until about 2 years ago, I think. Yeah, so everyone's pretty much been drawing their whole life, if you count once a month of doing a little art for a game, like a game role play that you've been playing with your friends, whatever. But yes, I've kind of been drawing. I got into drawing 2 years ago, pretty much. This is the second year I've been in digital drawing. So yeah, I did a bit on paper, and then we got like an iPad as a family gift for Christmas. So that was fun. Okay, so yes, use bright colors when you are tracing over where the hair is, or if I was tracing over where the outfit was, I would just go over that. But I have everything on a different layer when I'm tracing over the colors. But I do not have shading on a different layer. I shade on the same layer unless I have different colors. Like if I have rainbow streaks in the hair, I will go on a different layer and I will lower the opacity of shading layer. There are tons of different steps you have to go to if you have different colored hair. But I'm not exactly sure what hair color this girl is going to have. I usually figure that out after I've traced everything, or if I have a clear idea in my mind of what colors I want to use. So, just clarify, this is pretty much a video on tips and tricks. I can do a tutorial video if you want, but, you know, even though it's not a tutorial video, feel free to ask anything. I will answer it in delay because everything's delayed here. Comments, video, you know, kind of adds up to a minute or so behind, or whatever. So yes, ooh, golden hair. Might be pretty. Maybe. I don't know if I want to get too much Alice in Wonderland vibes from this. I kind of want it to be a more original character. Because if I do tea and then Alice in Wonderland colors, people might think it doesn't look as original. Well, even though teacup on the head is not super original, but I want it to be my character, kind of. But golden hair is a very pretty idea. Glitch? Sound? Glitch? Sound? Oh, dang it. Test. Okay, it's working now. It should not be glitching anymore. So, yes. My throat's a bit dry, so I'm just drinking water like everyone should drink water. If you're not drinking water, then you should be drinking water right now. Okay? What have you guys been drawing lately? I try to ask that every time because I do like to know what you guys are drawing. I take inspiration from Twitter, from pretty much everything I see online, and maybe you guys have some cool ideas. And if you have any cool ideas, you can actually tell me those ideas. I forget the tag exactly, but if you go onto my Twitter and search up request tag at YouGoatP, you should find something there. If you guys wanted to stream art, that would be pretty difficult. It took me a long time to set this up, and even still, it has sound glitches, etc., etc. Also, if you're supposed to be doing school, stay for this live stream, but after that, do school. Okay, so I got this app. It might glitch it when I leave Procreate, so just stay with me here. It's called Streamlabs. You can see it right in the right corner. Not corner, but yes, I guess right corner on both. Whatever you want to look at, it's teal if you don't see it. It's right beside Chrome. So I got an app called Streamlabs, and it takes a lot of setting up to do, and it took me a while to get used to it, so I can't really help you if you have any questions about it. So it's streaming now. It glitches out a lot, by the way, when you leave apps or anything. So it's pretty annoying, but it's pretty much the only thing you can use for iOS or Apple, or it does work for Samsung if you have Samsung. It might work for a few other things. I don't know. I was not keeping track because I have Apple. Okay, so this tracing process might seem a little bit boring, but trust me, if you get the lines all clean and you're not lazy and kind of going messy like that, it'll turn out looking amazing. Oh, you have to go? Bye. See you guys later. See you later, sorry. Hopefully both of you aren't leaving. Anyways. Okay, I'm just gonna invite a few more people to come to the live stream. Give me a second. I will be back in like 2 minutes. Okay? Bye. Really quickly. Hey, it should be working now. Most people have to leave, so I'm just gonna check if there's actually anyone watching this live stream. There's not. There's me and my brother, and I don't know why I'm talking like there are more people watching. So I guess I will end this live stream. Bye. Okay.